Hello, welcome to Facebook Live. I'm Lauren with Instagram, and we are here with the cast of Booksmart to talk all things about the movie. So we're going to bring them on in, but thank you for joining us. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Also, everybody.
Well, I'll introduce as you come. Hello, hello. So I'll just do a quick introduction going directly down from me, and then we can get started. So we have Olivia Wilde, who directed the film, and then we have we have Caitlin Deaver, who starred in the film, Beanie Feldstein, and Mason Gooding, is down at the bottom. You guys switched the roles on me. Nicko Haraga, and then Katie Silverman, who wrote the film. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know you guys are doing like a big tour all around. So what stop are we for you?
This is pretty early on in the tour. We did the East Coast a bit. We did Brown University. We did the Ivy Film Fest. We went to Harvard. We've shown a lot of colleges, which has been amazing. And last night we screened at the Castro for the SF Film Festival, and that was amazing. And tonight we're going to show the film to some more students, Stanford, Berkeley. Anyone else? Is anyone else coming tonight? USF, SF State.
Same thing.
So it's really, really fun. We love talking about this movie, and we love showing the movie to people, so it's exciting.
I had a chance to see it, and I have to say I was obsessed. I'm going to age myself, but it felt like a feminist version of like Can't Hardly Wait to me. And yeah, it's so funny. If you haven't had a chance to see it, you have to run out and see it the second it comes out because it's really, really good. But
May 24th.
Yeah, May 24th. We'll say that multiple times. So this was your first time directing a feature film. I know you've done music videos. Did you have to do like different prep to get yourself ready? What was the difference?
It was, just a lot of prep to make sure that we'd be able to tell the story in the short time that we had. We only had 26 days to shoot it. We had several locations. We had a lot of story to tell. So I had an amazing first AD named Scott Robertson. He's kind of the best in the business. He's literally worked with like Inarritu. He did The Revenant. So anytime we had a tough day on set, I was like, but it's easier than The Revenant, right? But honestly, I was so excited, just elated to have the opportunity to direct my first film, and so many directors toil away and never get this chance. So every day I was like, what? We have a production office? We get to have meetings? Like, I was just the happiest camper because it was so exciting to see this thing coming together.
So it's an experience you'll want to have again?
Yes, I'm hooked, and I'll do this forever and ever.
That's amazing. Caitlin, you're an actress and a musician. I know you have a band with your sister. Yeah. Did you have to lobby for your singing part in the film, or was that just a happy coincidence?
It literally, there's a karaoke moment in the movie, and that sort of happened very organically. I remember one day Liv said, so we're thinking about doing a karaoke scene, and we're thinking that you should sing You Oughta Know by Alanis Morissette. And I was like, oh my God, this is literally the karaoke song this is my karaoke song that I do at karaoke with my friends. That and Ice Ice Baby, but really it's You Oughta Know. And then I think in the early development process of creating Amy, I thought there's just the picnic scene that we were discussing. And I think we were thinking of like Amy playing guitar or ukulele. I was like, but what if she played the auto harp? Because I play the auto harp in my real life, and I thought it would be like a fun, interesting thing. So yeah, there's a little my music stuff peppered in there. It was very fun.
Her band is called Beulah Bell, by the way.
So good.
It's amazing.
Perfect. Beanie, hello.
Hi.
Hi. So your character is kind of like the hero and the heroine in this film, and I just found like the messaging, again, the feminist messaging, to be so authentic and cool. What about the role drew you to it? What made you excited to play it?
Oh, Molly she was unlike anyone I'd ever read, and especially she's unapologetically fierce, which I really respect and love, and is ridiculously smart. Like Katie's writing of Molly, I was like, I don't know if I can remember all of these things. And I consider myself an academic human being, but Molly really took it to a different level. She's incredibly smart, incredibly dedicated, and fierce. But also at the same time, she is so, when she's alone with Amy, is so loose and so silly and gross and weird. And I'd never seen both sides of a young woman depicted like that within a comedy. If usually if she's the nerd or the dork or the outcast or the girl, the teacher's pet, she's just that. And you don't get to see her be like silly and loose and so loving with her friends. And so I loved that Booksmart gave space to show the multidimensionality of people. And specifically for Molly, you might see this girl in the hallway and be like, "Hey, Gavolt. All right, I'll let you go to your class." You know, like she's a lot. But then when you get to see her, when the audience gets to see her with Amy, you get to see how full and rich she is. So I loved that you got to celebrate both sides of her.
Their compliment off scenes were just like some of my absolute favorite. We had a user question who wrote in asking where you got your matching jumpsuits. So if you don't know, think about it because we'll need that answer.
Mine was just Dickies, and Caitlin's was from like a really cool store in LA, right?
I think.
That
Courtyard LA?
Oh,
Might have been Courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause
April
we were gonna
Napier
get
was
them
our costume
jumpsuits.
designer, and
Where-
she's the coolest.
she's the coolest. I remember the day that the jumpsuits kind of came to be because we had tried on other outfits for going to the party. And I think that one of us put on a jumpsuit and then we're
Put
like,
it on first, and then
Yeah.
they're like, "We have another one. Would that be insane?" And then we're like, "We're obsessed."
matching jumpsuits. Let's do it. It was awesome.
And we had all our fittings together, which I thought was such a cool.
Yeah, you always do.
choice.
All the cast members usually do your fittings separately, but it was really fun to like get naked.
Nicko, your character is kind of a skater bro with a heart of gold, and I did some Instagram stalking on you, and you seem to be a skater bro with a heart of gold. So, did you do your own stunts in the film? And
I
is
did.
That what, yeah.
Did, yes. The stunt coordinator was really nervous about having me do my own stunts. She was really on my head about it, which I get it, you know, because I have a fire extinguisher in one of the scenes, and I'm skating, and I'm like, there are kids around me with their eyes open, and I have a fire extinguisher in my hand, and it's going off. So she was a little bit nervous about me doing my own stunts, but I think it's definitely tight being able to for sure. And it's like I don't mind falling either, because it's like I've fallen so much skating and broken so many bones. So it's like doing it in front of like instead of like a little small camera that we film skating with, in front of like a big production team. It's like you know, you go all out for it.
I'm sure the insurance team loved that. I don't mind following.
I don't know. Yeah, I got a lot of one-on-one talks.
So I get so scared stalking your Instagram, just looking at you fall over and over. It was it's so scary for me.
Oh.
Katie, so you wrote this film as well as Step It Up. Isn't it romantic? You've had quite the year, actually. And it's basically
Set It Up.
Oh,
Did
Set
you
It Up,
also
sorry.
do Step Up?
I tried
Step
so
Up to the
hard,
streets?
and they wouldn't let me. Step Up 14. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully this will get you greenlit. It's a female love story, really. And why was it important for you to tell like a coming-of-age high school genre from a female perspective?
It was such a dream to get to tell a high school movie, which are a lot of my favorite movies. But we really structured this like a romance. One of our first conversations with Olivia when she was pitching her incredible vision for it and what the movie was going to be was about how this is as much a romance as any romantic comedy that someone would write, and to structure it that way and leading to kind of a, you know, high school friendship movies often end up being a breakup movie because it's the end of a phase where you have to move on. And so this was by far the most fun love story I've gotten to write, because they were in love from the very first moment. And female friendships are so, I hope male friendships are like this too, but female friendships are so special because you just get to publicly love them so much. Like you just get to like compliment them and appreciate them and adore them so publicly. And that was a really fun thing that I hadn't seen as much. I think Bridesmaids is a really great example of that and how much they love each other. And there are obviously a lot of like amazing television shows like Broad City and Pen 15 who do it really well. But that element of female friendship is so fun and to have the love on the surface, so I mean, so deeply love each other, but have the love on the surface so much was a very special opportunity to be able to write that way.
Mason, your character is kind of one of the catalysts for Beanie's sort of freak out in the film, realizing that she's kind of like wasted all of college, high school, trying to get great grades, and then realizing everyone else partied but also got great grades. What was it like playing a character that kind of had to appear to be, not the smartest, but actually have that?
Oh, well, it was great because I'm already not very smart, so it was nice to work within my limits. No, it was great because to be able to sort of play from both angles. I remember, again, early on in, production, I was speaking with Olivia, and she's like, in the beginning, it would just make sense if the way he interacted with Molly was just not that he didn't care about her, but just that he would sort of have so many things going on mentally and because of his energy that maybe it just wasn't a pressing issue to him at the time. And that oftentimes is what happens. We think people are being mean or ignoring us when in fact they're really just maybe focusing on a great many things and haven't considered how that might affect you. So as the film goes on, as films do, we got to sort of develop the idea that maybe as you get to know someone or you experience more with them, you realize that maybe the judgment you thought they were placing on you could maybe be you covering up for some insecurities you feel yourself that you project onto them. I don't know. But it was a ton of fun. The cast was amazing, and it was always, every day was better than the last with them, so it was real easy to be nice to them or to be, working with them, so.
Okay, so we're going to move to a user-submitted question. This is by Michaela Dudley. Olivia, what do you hope people take away from the movie?
Thank you, Michaela. I hope that people choose to see each other a little bit more and hopefully then allow for themselves to be a little bit more complex and nuanced than we sometimes tend to do. The basic core of the film is about love and about ridding yourself of judgment. I often think about the time we waste as adolescents and then through our 20s, and hopefully we reach a point of maturity in our 30s, I think. That's what happened for me, where you realize that, so much of what we assume about others is just projection, and that we really can free ourselves of so many hang-ups. We are actually in control of those hang-ups. But I think that comes from maturity, and I thought, what if we could tell a story that could allow people to have that realization earlier on so they have a lot more time time in their 20s to just feel free. So I hope people take away a sense of like, man, I'm gonna give someone else a little bit more of a chance. I'm gonna look a little more deeply and allow that for myself as well.
I definitely took that away. So you succeeded. There you go. Sort of rambling on that, what was Olivia like as a director on set?
Please go while we can talk about you for an hour. She was incredible. She was so collaborative. She worked with every actor singularly. I think that a lot of the actors had never really been in a movie before, and she sort of catered to their needs. Sometimes when you work with a director, I feel like they just they have their way of working and they sort of project that onto the set, and then it becomes the vibe of the whole shoot. And Olivia collaborated with everybody in their own specific way. Some of us improv'd more than others, and it just worked out so well. And we were always playing hip hop music at 3 o'clock in the morning during our night shoots. So it was the best time. She's incredible, and she's very, very inspiring.
Music played a huge role throughout the film. There was a scene, I feel that went for 5 minutes where no one speaks, that started with you underwater and then just kept going, which was really cool. Was that intentional? Did you really want music to play a big part?
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, music affects me so much in films. I love being emotionally manipulated by music. I really enjoy it. And ever since I was little, when I hear music, I think about scenes that I would like to, create for that song, and that's why music videos became something I loved making. But I imagined that scene and yet Caitlin took it to a completely different level. And when I saw the footage, I realized that it was something even greater and more inspiring than I had imagined. And then we put this Perfume Genius song, Slip Away, on that scene, and I just couldn't believe how well it worked. And it's kind of a fascinating thing that you can have a scene written in a script that says that someone, in this instance, goes underwater, sees something, I won't spoil it for those of you who haven't seen it, sees something that they really don't want to see, and then exits the pool, walks into a house, and sees their friend. It can be that simple. And then you get to play within those boundaries and really be experimental and hope that everybody's inspired, the actor, the camera operator, and just allow for it to grow and be more than you imagine. But that was a scene that really blew me away, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it.
Beanie. Your real name is Elizabeth, but you go by Beanie.
Yes.
How did that happen? Why?
God. Wow.
Big into headgear?
No. My given name is Elizabeth, specifically because my brother wanted me to have a traditional name, which really backfired. But I had a caretaker who called me Elizabini from the time I was like 3 days old, and it just stuck. And my brothers were like, "Let's just call her Beanie. That's so funny." And now I'm Beanie for the rest of my life. I love it. I'm like really big on names. I think it suits me so much. I don't know if my personality shaped my name or vice versa, but names really matter to me. So when I read Molly, I was like, I'm a Molly. Yeah, Molly feels good. But when I read character names, I'm like very serious about them, because if they don't feel right, I'm like, no.
She's also very serious about nicknames. So she was like, when she first met me, she was like, I need to think of your nickname. And then she called me Pup one day, and I'm like, that's it.
Puppy.
Did you nickname everyone else?
Yeah, I call it Silbs. She calls me Sprouts, like a bean sprout. I mean, it could go on. Neeks, Mace. But, like, I think that's also it's a sign of love and intimacy. So, like, I don't think we ever refer to each other in the film by the full name. It's always like Aim, Maul, Aim. And it feels different when it's like Amy. Like, there are moments when we whip it out, the full name, but it feels, like, meaningful.
Well, so I have a question for you there. You name drop a lot of powerful women in the movie. There's Queen Noor, there's Sheryl Sandberg. There's a lovely lean-in reference, which was hilarious. How did you choose those specific women? Why was that important?
That was it's a very fun challenge when you want to list a bunch of powerful women and you have to whittle it down, because there are so many that I think we were trying to have a spectrum of women from history, like Joan of Arc, women of modern history like Sheryl Sandberg, like business women who are really changing things, people like Gloria Steinem, Queen Noor of Jordan, Diane Sawyer gets a shout out.
Ruth
Bader Ginsburg, obviously, and Malala's a very important person in our lives and the movie. But yeah, I think we were trying to have a spectrum as much as possible about the kind of powerful women that impact our lives in all the different ways that they can, both from history and from modern politics and from art and from just like courageous acts of bravery. But yeah, it was hard to whittle it down because there were so many we wanted to include.
So Nicko, what was it like being on set with all of these powerful women?
It was overwhelming. It was I was overwhelmed. They're powerful women. Olivia, Kaelin, Beanie, Katie, they're all so like super rad people and make you feel super comfortable. I just felt like I was in like a whole nother family when I'd come to set. It was never like I'd be going to work. It's like, oh, I'm going to go see my auntie and my two sisters and my mommy figure. So it was just, it was overwhelming, but it was in a very, very good way.
Okay, so we are almost through. So I have a couple lightning round questions. Favorite Instagram account you follow?
It's so hard. You have to go first.
Any doodle, like the dog, the doodle, like a doodle Instagram, any of those?
My current thought is Lizzo. She's on our soundtrack, A. And B, just every frame of her Instagram, I'm like, yes! I'm just like screaming at my phone. I'm like, where do I get that jumpsuit? Yes, thank you.
that I follow, probably Thrasher Mag, just, daily skating, just, up to date on everything. But I need to follow this account. I'm sure everyone knows it. It's that account, If You're High.
I haven't heard of that
man,
one.
it is such a trip, and it shows like the raddest things. It's like cheese being cut super slowly by like a really hot blade, and you're just like,
You really get lost.
yeah, you seriously
For
get
hours.
lost in your
you
phone.
just- oh my god.
And then like a chicken like morphing into like a tiger into like a lizard. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, we'll have
So
to check that out.
if you're high.
I wish I could go back to school so I could write a thesis on Diane Keaton's Instagram account because her captions are we're so lucky to have her. And if you don't follow her, you should go.
It's probably a toss-up between the real Tarzan, because I love animals, and in that same vein, spicy dog memes, because I like dog memes.
Did you find the real Tarzan pre-Will Smith or post?
See, I found him pre,
Okay.
just because he was like really cool, and I liked the animal scene, but he definitely helped. Will kind of blew it up.
Yep. Back to you.
There's so many. Recently it's the Pen 15 account, because they post their bloopers.
Yes.
And they're so good. I just love them so much.
Okay, and then you preempted this one, but I was going to ask, what's your go-to your go-to karaoke song, as we're in the midst of Coachella here?
If they have Tupac, some karaoke places don't have enough Tupac. But I will sing, I sing Changes, I sing Live and Die in LA, I sing a lot of Tupac. But like a lot of places won't offer it. And then, Alanis is a good option.
Yeah. You Ought to Know would be first on the list, then it would be Ice Ice Baby, and then it would be Pony by Genuine. So,
Yeah.
Mine's ABBA. Always
ABBA,
ABBA.
which one, or any?
Honestly, there's not one I don't know. So
Chiquitita?
Chiquitita for sure.
For sure, bring it home.
SOS and just pretend to be Pierce Brosnan up against the wall. No one got that reference. It's the Mamma Mia movie. And Nicko?
Straight Outta Compton, NWA, but the clean version, it's like when the swear words pop up, you're just kind of like, Straight Outta Compton, crazy named Nicko. You're just, just the clean version.
I used to do Gangster's Paradise with my friend because there's a part where you just go, huh, 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 the whole song. You don't really have to do anything, which was easy. But there's a place in LA called Max Karaoke that has an incredible Broadway selection, and so there's a lot of Les Mis that happens over there. There's a lot of stuff like that.
A big shot, because you had to be a big shot. Big shot. Sorry, I love that song, and people have to be big shots sometimes.
Perfect. Okay, final takeaway. Last thing, besides the movie premieres in theaters May 24th.
May 24th.
So go out and see it, but last thing you want people to take away.
Oh, just that this is a movie that is really fun, and it's something that I want you to bring your best friend to. I want you to celebrate your friendships, and we hope that when you leave, you'll think about the friend that shaped you at this point in your life. But really, it's a hard time to be alive sometimes, and there's a movie out there that is going to bring you some joy, and we're really, really proud to have been a part of making it happen.
Yay, that's the cast of Booksmart. I think we're going to play the trailer after this, but we will exit so that everyone can see it. Thank you so much.